What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here, and in today's video I'm going to share my journey to jacked and the important lessons that I've learned along the way. From being a scrawny hard gainer in my teenage years to gaining 50 pounds of excess fat in my mid-20s, to the 10-year struggle to try to lose that excess fat, and then finally achieving that goal at age 36, and how I have continued to progress through this jacked journey for the past 10 years. I'd love to hear what parts of my journey to jacked you can relate to the most, where you're currently at in your journey to jacked, what your journey has looked like up to this point, and where you see your journey going from here. So please take a moment to drop a comment down below to share your experiences with us. Now, it's important to start way back to where this journey to jacked began, and that is the day I was born, weighing in at just 6 pounds 1 ounce. And the reason that is so important is because our birth weight can be a strong indicator to our genetic muscular potential. It's been shown that for every kilogram more that you are at birth, that you weigh in at birth, you have like 4 extra kilograms of muscular potential at your disposal there. So the cards were already kind of stacked against me at birth. It doesn't help that I've got small, tiny little wrists that are like not even 6.5 inches wide. I think my ankles are less than 8 inches in diameter there as well. My height, 5'6.5" tall. I like to say I'm 5'7" on a good day. And I mean, my dad, he is 5'8", I believe, and he's only weighing in around 150 to 155 pounds. My son, who's going to be 21 soon, he's about 5'10". He's less than 150 pounds. Like, genetic-wise, when it comes to getting jacked, I have a lot of genetic cards stacked against me. So I grew up a small and skinny little kid, really active, really into sports, especially baseball and hockey. And then at age 13 is when my parents got me my first workout set, the York 2000 multi-gym. The old bench, the York bench with the cement-filled weight plates there. That's actually when my dad started working out with me as well. So he was in his mid-30s when he started working out, and he's been like pretty religious with it every other day, weight training ever since then. Up to this point, he's going to be 70 this year and still rocking it in the weight room there. I freaking love it. I'd love to hear what age you were when you first began working out, what equipment you had access to, whether you belonged to a gym or had something set up at home there. I'd also love to know what were the reasons you began working out in the first place. For myself personally, a lot of it had to do with sports. Again, age 13, starting high school in grade 9, playing hockey against guys who are in grade 13, 6'5", 250 pounds. I'm just freaking bouncing off them. So I needed to do whatever I could to kind of hold my own out there. But I quickly noticed that I was starting to catch some attention from the girls at my high school, making comments about my arms and my abs, and that was incredible motivation. And I really began to become more fascinated with my physique as I started watching it change. I mean, a lot of it had to do, the time, the age, Schwarzenegger in the movies, Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme was probably my favorite role model of all, just being fascinated by their bodies and seeing how I could improve upon my physique by lifting weights. And I just absolutely loved the weight training experience. Just being in front of the mirror, working on a good sweat, getting a good pump on. I think the most important lesson during those teenage years is that it really doesn't matter how you train as long as you are training hard with consistent effort. I was mostly following body part split routines, and the other thing is that you're eating big. You're eating enough to support those muscle gains, and I was definitely a bottomless pit, just non-stop eating all the freaking time to fuel those gains. And I'd definitely say I made some fantastic progress throughout those teenage years. 19 years old, weighing in at 123 pounds. I remember at this time going to my girlfriend's high school prom, and this is etched in my mind forever because, I mean, I was getting compliments from a lot of the girls at the school, and I felt really good about myself. And it was at the prom party afterwards, nighttime, where drunk, kind of walking around, and then she's introducing me to some of her friends. I remember one of the guys going, "Oh, I thought you said he was big. Like, I thought you said he was muscular, he worked out." And I can understand. I mean, 5'6.5" tall, 123 pounds, although I looked good. I certainly, compared to a lot of the other guys in high school, especially, there's a lot of guys who were well over 200 pounds and 6 feet tall, looking way more muscular than me at the time. That was a knock to my ego, and that was a reality check that I got some work to do here. So that's when I started getting into supplements, beginning with Mega Mass 2000, just doing anything I could to get even more calories in my body easily. And it was like the early 20s when I started reading Muscle Media 2000, Sean Phillips, Bill Phillips, and Bill started coming out with, I think it's Body for Life, and just his supplement guides. EAS, their supplement company there, started consuming their Myoplex shakes, their HMB supplements, and phosphagen, their form of creatine there. So I was taking that religiously to try to build up my muscle. And I continued to build muscle throughout my early 20s. So in my mid 20s, after graduating from Human Kinetics and working for another fitness club for a year, I opened up my own personal training studio. A few months after that, my son was born. I was working like 16-hour days, just stressed like crazy. And this was at the beginning of the craft beer craze. So I'd come home from work, and because I was so stressed out, drinking those craft beers, and in the warmer months, just pounding those mudslides, just high-calorie alcoholic drinks, and really kind of drowning my emotions in junk, like lots of chips, lots of chocolate, whatever I could get my freaking hands on. 22 months later, my daughter was born. So my peak weight ended up being close to 190 pounds. I think 188 is what I weighed in at my max there. And you won't see any pictures of me shirtless at all. I never took my shirt off. It was embarrassing. As a personal trainer, I was embarrassed of my body. I was very uncomfortable on my own skin, and I preferred to hide. I could hide it fairly well under my clothes. A lot of people, they knew I had gained some weight, but they didn't realize how much I had gained. I mean, sure, my cheeks looked a little bit more puffy and everything. You kind of see it a little bit under my shirt, and you definitely weren't seeing any details in my arms or anything like that. It was like one blob from my shoulders down to my arms, no shoulder details or anything like that. But I hid it well, and I remember being at the beach with my daughter there when she's 2 years old, in a tank top, thinking to myself, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I'm embarrassed to take my shirt off. I'm at the beach and I won't even take my shirt off. I mean, that was really difficult because I was always the one that was like flexing at the beach and really showing off my body at the beach at any freaking opportunity I could. And I tried and tried to lose that 50 pounds. I remember even joining a bunch of different transformation contests in hopes of winning some money, and just nothing would stick. I'd be good for a few days and then fall off the wagon. Good for a few days, fall off the wagon. Good for a few days, go grab a cookie and then think to myself, you know what, you've been good for a few days. You deserve a couple cookies here. Then 3 turns into the entire box. 1 handful of chips turns into the entire bag of chips. 1 scoop of ice cream turns into the entire tub of ice cream. I just couldn't control myself. Man, what the fuck? All right, I'm going to start again tomorrow or start again Monday. Same trap that a lot of others fall into as well. And then I'd be like successful. Next thing you know, it'd be like a few weeks in a row, or I'd lose like 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and I think there's even time to lose like 20 pounds, but then gain it all back and then have to start the process all over again. And then I remember it like it was freaking this morning. It was a cold January morning, 2011, got out of the shower, putting on my jeans and struggling to get the button up. They're like size 32-inch jeans, which I had no business wearing at the time. I was under my stomach, so you can, even though my waist was much larger than 32 inches, you have your pants down below your stomach there, and you can make them fit somehow. But I'm freaking struggling to get them up, and I just caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I went, what the hell is that? It's like, for the first time in 10 years, like I knew I needed to lose weight. I knew I had gained 50 pounds, but I really didn't realize the impact that 50 pounds had on the appearance of my physique. I'm like, what the fuck? That was my turning point, January 2011. From that moment on, I was like, forget this. This is the time. I don't care how many times I've tried over and over and over again to lose this weight. This is it. Enough is enough. And I committed to giving myself 6-pack abs for my 36th birthday. My birthday is in September, so that gave me about a little over 8 months from the time that I started this transformation process. I knew I could do it in that time. I knew it was pretty realistic. I knew it was going to be a challenge. I lost that first 10 pounds pretty quickly, and then at that point was the first time I ever felt somewhat comfortable, okay with taking my before photos, and I posted them on Facebook, telling everybody my plan was to give myself 6-pack abs for my 36th birthday, so I held myself publicly accountable to achieving that goal. And I still remember, like, when I posted that, a lot of guys going, oh my God, I wish I looked as good as you do in this photo, and that your photo there is my after photo. I just want to look like that. That's my goal weight. That's my goal physique right there. I'm like, think to myself, okay, that's great for you. That's your standard there, but like, I've been lean, athletic, fit my entire life, and right now I am feeling awful. Like, I feel sluggish, I feel lethargic, I feel bloated, I feel uncomfortable in every way, shape, or form. So it felt really good to hold myself publicly accountable, and I also booked a photo shoot as a way of celebrating the end of my journey there. It's just a nice little reward at the end. And again, I paid for it in advance, so that held some extra accountability for me too as well. So every Friday I would post an update on my Facebook page, letting everyone know how I did with my weight loss. I would share some pictures. So I was actually taking pictures every single day. It was a ritual for me. It kept things top of mind. So not only stepping on the scale, but snapping a photo, even though you're not going to see changes in the photos from day to day, even like week to week, you're not going to see that much of a drastic difference. But it was just another form of accountability for me when it came to measuring my progress. So I ended up achieving my goal, gave myself 6-pack abs for my 36th birthday, had a fantastic photo shoot, felt incredibly sexy. Like I have never felt that sexy in my life going through that photo shoot, having the photographer put me through different poses and everything. Like I felt freaking incredible. And then getting the pictures back going, oh my God, like that's me. And like for the first time in my life, seeing my body as a work of art, that really flipped the switch in my mind. And then I had a friend of mine approach me and say, dude, you're lean, you should compete now. So my weight class, the lightweight bodybuilders, I think there's 8 of us. I came in second. The young kid who beat me, 21 years old, won the juniors, he won the lightweights, and he won the overall title. So at that point, I had some of my fellow colleagues telling me, all right, dude, you are primed to build muscle now. It is time to grow, eat big. Don't worry about your abs. You can lose them. You'll diet down and get them back afterwards. So that year I gained 30 pounds, then had to spend a lengthy time dieting that down. In the end, I gained 1 pound of muscle. I thought to myself, holy crap, that is not worth it to feel so uncomfortable at the end of gaining that 30 pounds, all for 1 pound of muscle. So I'm like, all right, next year I'm gonna gain 20 pounds and see what happens there. Diet that down, again, 1 pound of muscle. I did that for a couple more years, just trying it out. Then 6 years ago was like the last time I ever had to diet down for 12 weeks to lose that 20 pounds, just realizing it is just not worth it. That is such a terrible ratio of fat gain to muscle gain. I'm gonna cut that in half and drop it down to 10 pounds. So I gained just 10 pounds that next year. End result again, after dieting that out, only need to diet down for a short period of time to lose that 10 pounds, just a nice little mini cut, 1 pound of muscle. So then I'm like, all right, same outcome, let's slow it down even more, make 7 to 8 pounds. Again, end result, tiny little mini cut, spending most of the time in a gentle surplus. So always feeling great, hardly having to diet down, feeling my best all year long, looking my best all year long. End result, 1 pound of muscle. So I'm like, for the past 2 years, I'm like, let's keep it closer to 5 pounds. End result has been pretty much the same. Just, it's really the payoff. Again, when I'm looking at gaining 5 pounds, that's still not a great ratio when you think it's 4 pounds of fat to 1 pound of muscle. I really love to see it more along the lines of a 50-50 ratio, 1 pound of fat to 1 pound of muscle, where it's evened out there. So, but again, it's just living life, enjoying myself, but just really finding my sweet spot right now. Just realizing that it's been over 30 years of serious lifting that I've been putting my body through. And if you think about it, like right now I'm weighing about 147 pounds. Like I said, 19 years old, 123 pounds after 6 years of hardcore freaking lifting and eating big and putting on probably most of my muscle mass during that time. Like I have still, since that age, put on another 20 pounds of muscle. Like I have done pretty damn well when it comes to genetics. I see a lot of other guys that get comments on YouTube all the time. You've been lifting this long, you should weigh more than 147 pounds. I'm like, well, look where I came from. Like, look at my genetics. Not everybody who lifts for 30 plus years is gonna be 200 pounds. It's just, even 180 pounds, it's just not in the cards for a lot of us, especially, again, take a look at my genetics, born 6 pounds, 1 ounce, and small wrist. Like I don't have a thick bone structure to even support a lot of muscle mass, but still when you look at the big picture, I have put on a lot of muscle over the years, even though I'm still not a very big guy. So at this stage of the game for me, it's all about thriving and having fun, being able to live my life to the fullest, being able to go through my days with confidence, pride, zest, and vitality, having a freaking blast in the gym. I still, like to this day, old school 90s hip hop tunes in there, always listening to Public Enemy, some Dr. Dre, NWA, LL Cool J, all the stuff that I listened to back in the day, the Beastie Boys, Rage Against the Machine, so a lot of that, a little bit of 90s grunge stuff mixed in there. I get, like today in the gym, I get those same kind of nostalgic feelings, those same kind of joyous feelings that I had when I was a kid. So the weight training, it's not a stress for me right now. I'm not like obsessing over packing on muscle. I'm walking in there, I'm gonna have freaking fun. I'm gonna give my absolute best effort. That's all I can ever ask for myself. And just eat well, provide my body with the nutrients to feel my best, perform my best, and go through my days feeling my absolute best in all aspects of my life. So that's been a glimpse into my journey to jacked. I'd love to hear more about your journey to jacked. So please do me a favor, drop a comment down below, share the parts of my journey that resonate most with you, that you can relate to. Let me know where you're at in your journey right now, what your journey has been looking like up to this point, and where you see your journey going from here. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want some more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. And if you don't have any topics you want me to cover in future videos, please let me know, again, down in the comment section below. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. Before I go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.